Hey guys, Alpha here from Alpha Psych Ward. Today I'm going to be playing Hordes.io, which is a somewhat new game. Kind of a lot of confusion with this game. It's not super straightforward, so I'm just going to go over, the need-to-know stuff. So if you're looking for, advanced tactics, PvP, stuff like that, I'll be doing that in another video. That's not this video. But I am going to be just touching on the basics in this video. How to load a character, where to get, your character info. Just the basics. So we're going to go through this. We're also going to go through the skills of each character. I'm going to give my 2 cents on what you should focus on, what's going to be your main PvP, things like that. So this is the starter page here. This is what you log into. You input your name here. Before you click play, there's 2 different factions. There's Vanguard and there's Bloodlust. And then there's 4 different classes: Warrior, Mage, Shaman, Archer. Make sure to select whichever one you actually want before you go in. It's important to note that your character will be locked in to whatever you put here. So his name will be locked in, his faction will be locked in, and his class will be locked in. So if you want to try something different, you will have to start a new character, get a new code, and start at level 1. And you can have as many characters as you want, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and get into this. So everything's pretty much blocky. You're a little block fighting other blocks. We'll just quickly go over what you see here on screen. You got your character up here, level 1, warrior, health. This is how much gold you currently have. This right here is just the help menu. You can push F1 to get rid of it. You got chat and server messages here. You can go ahead and push enter to write a global message. I'm actually not sure if you can write a team message. I haven't seen any commands for that, so something to keep in mind. Down at the bottom here, this bar is your experience bar. I currently have none. It'll fill up with blue as you go. Top right here, we got settings. You could go ahead and do whatever makes your computer, play the best. You don't want any lag in a PvP game. This here, right here, this is the most important thing of the entire video. This little head. When you create a new character and you invest time and effort into it, you want to click this and go ahead and copy this down and paste it somewhere on your computer. Whoops. This is your current ID. Okay, so this is this character's ID. This is what you need. After you shut down and you load back in, this is what you need to load your character. It automatically saves all your progress, your money, your experience, your skills. It saves everything automatically. But to load the character, you do need this, not this current ID, but your character's current ID. And when you load in a new game, you just go ahead, click here, paste it, click load. I would highly recommend copying it because sometimes they use capital I's and lowercase L's. They look almost identical. So if you're just typing it in manually, if it says wrong code, maybe that capital I is a lowercase L. So very important to keep in mind. Next, there's many different servers as long as you're in the US. US has 3 different servers. Europe only has 1. When you log in, do take note of the server you're in. I've had it put me in the Europe server upon logging in, and that does some crazy things to your game. It like started teleporting me shortly across the map. I couldn't do anything, and it just does a whole bunch of lag stuff. So make sure you're in the right server when you log in. It's also important to note if you're having trouble farming or whatever, for whatever reason, let's say there's too many PvPers or your faction's not winning, you can't find any farming spots. You could go ahead and switch servers. Oh no, I picked the Europe one. But you can switch servers, and then this is a whole new set of people and a whole different situation on the entire map. So you might find something that's more favorable for you. Also keep in mind, if somebody's PvPing you and that's the difficulty you're facing, they can also switch servers. They'd have to find you again, but just keep that in mind. So yeah, different servers. It's also important to note there's 2 different spawns for each Vanguard and Bloodlust. There's this one here, and then if you don't want to be at this one, you want to be at the other one, you can just select the same server. As long as you're not in combat, it'll kind of reload, and you can keep doing that until you're at the other one. Oh, too soon. Yep, there we go. This is the other one here. So you could do that, and it's just a quick teleport. You don't have to walk across the map. Over here we got Vanguard, Bloodlust. How many players? This is over the all the servers, so that's not just in the server you're in. And then it says their collective money. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're winning. This just means you know what's available for PvP, kind of, I guess. Then you got the leaderboards. This is top 8, red, obviously, Bloodlust, blue, Vanguard. Every time you kill a player, or if you die, if you kill a player, you will gain fame. If you contribute to a player dying, you will gain fame. I believe that's dependent on the damage you do. And then when you die, you'll lose a percentage of your fame. So you got the leaderboards up here if that's something you're into. Let's see what else. Alright, we got your skills. 1, 2, 3, 4. To actually level up a skill or to get a new skill, hover over it and then this plus sign. When it's lit up, that means you have enough gold to unlock either the skill or to level it up. You go ahead, click that, and then it'll take the money, level it up, or you'll get the skill. And yeah, that's pretty much everything you see here. Really quickly before we go over the character skills and everything, I'm just going to go over how to attack and such. If you're not targeted on an enemy but you do push an attack, it will target the enemy, an enemy closest to you, up to a certain distance. Or you can just manually click them and you can select. Hold right click or left click to actually swing your camera. If you hold both left and right click, you walk. To attack, you just select a target, be within range, and then just push whatever skill 1, 2, 3, 4 that you want to attack with. Another thing too, if you have something that's self-cast, and I'll show you this on the Shaman, there's no way to actually select yourself. You can push shift and that selects closest ally, or you can push tab and it'll cycle through the closest enemies, but there's no way to actually select yourself. So if you have something like that, you just want to select an enemy and then just cast anything that's friendly and it'll automatically be cast on yourself. Or if you have no selection, it'll automatically cast on yourself, and that's how you get self-cast. So going through the skills here. This is Warrior. He's got Deep Cut. Slash your enemy's arteries, causing them to bleed over a period of time. Heals you for a percentage of your missing health. So it's not too bad. It's gonna definitely useful. It's gonna be used in PvP. It's gonna be probably your secondary. And then this one here, Whirlwind. This is gonna be your primary in PvP and also gold farming. Spin your sword, dealing damage to enemies in a circle around you, decreasing movement speed while active. It's very important to know that that decrease in movement speed is of yourself, not of the enemy. So just make sure you're in a good position to use it, because if they just run out of it, you're not going to catch up to them. Number 3 is Charge. Charge at your enemy, interrupting his current cast and stopping his movement speed. This is going to be used in PvP. This is going to be what closes the distance to the enemy you're trying to kill, so you can spin on them. Another use for this too is if you're running away from people. Let's say there's somebody behind me right now and I'm running away. I can select this guy, use that skill, and it'll charge me forward, which gives me ground between me and the guy I'm running away from, right? So that's another use for it. I wouldn't level this up too much. It does, I think it does initial damage on impact, but I'm not sure. It's not much if it does. And again, it doesn't make it so you charge any further with levels. So I would keep that one kind of on the low side. Taunt. Intimidate your enemies with a loud word, generating high levels of threat and generating a portion of your missing health. Removes debuffs. This is your main heal for yourself. You just have to use it in good situations. I've seen so many warriors where we're out farming gold and you know he gets down to half health and he decides to use this, but he's only getting attacked by one thing when there's like 5 more things around him, right? So he uses this, everything hops on him, he dies just because he pulls hate. So just be careful with that and use it in good situations. So that's Warrior. Next, we got the Mage. Very useful in PvP. Tons of crowd controllers, CC. High damage, a little bit squishy, but not too bad. Number 1 here, Ice Bolt. Fire a magic Ice Bolt at the enemy, dealing damage to all targets in a small area. It doesn't say that, but it is definitely a small area, and slowing them for a brief moment. So slows them. It can hit more than one enemy at once, but they have to be like relatively close together for it to happen. I would invest a bit into this. I wouldn't invest too heavily, just because this isn't going to be for PvP, so your money is best spent elsewhere. Frost Call. You call down a blizzard on an enemy position, dealing damage over time, and it's channeled. This is your main PvP attack. You do want to invest heavily into this. It does great damage, it slows the enemy, it does a radius around your target, but you cannot move after you cast it or the casting stops. So you can move, but it just interrupts your cast and your cast goes away. So just keep that in mind, but very, very useful, especially in group PvP. The damage and the slow are huge if you're doing group PvP. Teleports you forward in an instant. I would only go level 1 with this. I'm pretty confident you do not teleport any further with additional levels. But watch for updates. Maybe they will update the game where it will do that, but for right now it doesn't, so I would only go level 1. And then Ice Block freezes you in an Ice Block, rendering you invincible for a moment and recovering a portion of your health. You can level this up high enough that it will regenerate your entire bar of health, and I recommend that you do that. The only downfall to this is while you're in the ice, obviously you're in ice healing, so you cannot move. So if you're in PvP and you use that, that's going to give the enemy an opportunity to catch up and position himself to try to, you know, take out your new fresh bar of hit points. Really, the most useful combo I've seen when trying to escape is people will obviously run as far as they can. Once they get low on hit points, they'll go ahead, they'll use the ice block, they'll be frozen, people will catch up, and then they immediately teleport when that wears off to kind of put some ground between them and the PvPer. So something to keep in mind. Next we have the Shaman. Alright, so the Shaman here starts off with 2 skills just because he needs an attack, you can't just heal. When you heal other people, you do not gain experience, you do not gain fame, you do not gain gold, unfortunately. I really wish they would change that and make it so you would get experience and gold from healing people. I know that could be abused, but at the same time, then Shamans might actually play their role as a healer more often. And in this battlefield, their golden experience would be helping teammates kind of like they're supposed to. It would just help them focus on playing their character how I think they should be played, but to each their own. Their number 1 here is Healing Ritual. It heals your target upon cast for a short while and for a short while afterwards. This is really useful. I'd level this up a decent amount. I wouldn't go huge into it, but this is how you heal other faction members, team members, how you heal their hit points. It's really useful for preventing your teammates from dying and kind of robbing a kill away from the enemy, which is always fun. And also, you know, if you team up with somebody who's powerful but squishy, it definitely a strong combo. Summons a spirit upon a friendly target that heals allies and damages enemies. Again, very useful. Heals you every second over time, and enemies that get close to you will take damage over time. Very useful. Cast a spell of decay upon your enemy, slowing their movement speed and dealing damage over time. This is your main gold farming. This is your main PvP as well. This slows the enemy, which is super useful. Your number 2 and your number 3 are kind of going to go hand in hand for PvP and also for gold farming. So I'd go ahead. I'd probably keep them even the entire way up. And then your number 4 is Wind Rush. Temporarily boost the movement speed of you and your allies. It's useful. It's situational. Some downfalls about it is it has a 30-second cooldown, so use it sparingly. Use it only when you need it, because that cooldown is ridiculously huge. Another thing I don't like about it is if you're slowed for any reason, if you go ahead and use this will not break the slow. It will not make you faster. You're still going to be slowed, and you're going to waste your skill. So if you're slowed, you know, try to time it out so the slow wears off and you can hit it. The best way to use this is if you see someone coming at you and you know that they're going to kill you, or you just know you want to run away before they get to you or before they can touch you, hit this and run right away. That's the best use of this. Like I said, if you do get slowed, it will not break the slow, it will not make you faster. Alright, next is Archer. So the Archer is pretty common. This here, Piercing Shot, this is your main gold farming and your main PvP. Fires an arrow at your target, piercing their armor up to 5 times, increasing your next piercing shot damage by 18%. So after 5 shots, you're doing 90% more damage than your first shot. So almost double. Extremely powerful, very useful. This is your main PvP. Volley, shoot all targets in front of you over a duration. This has a place in PvP and gold farming, but it's very situational. I would level it up. I wouldn't invest too heavily into it because, like I said, the piercing shot will do way more for you. But go ahead and invest into this. It will be useful. Leeching Arrow fires a condemned arrow at your enemy, reducing their healing and stealing some of their health. This is your only heal, so I would actually level this up to give you a really good chunk of your current hit points back, so you can heal. Ideally, a full bar of health back would be ideal, and then I'd stop. Anything beyond that is kind of a waste. This here also, when you're fighting things that can heal over time, such as warriors or shamans, especially shamans, this will reduce their healing, so you can actually start putting damage in. So very useful. And then sprint at a very high speed for a short moment. This has a very short cooldown of 5 seconds, so you can use it all the time. You don't have to worry about using it sparingly because it'll probably be ready when you need it. And then with just about every other movement speed one out there, I would recommend not going anything past level 1, because as of right now, I'm pretty confident that additional levels do not make you run faster or further. But like I always say, if there's an update, you know, check the updates, because if it does make you run further or faster, then it would be beneficial to invest levels into that. And this is good for everything, positioning yourself better in group PvP, chasing, running. Really useful. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the basics of the game. I hope that really helped you out. I know there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things are unclear, and new players kind of struggle to get a hang of it. And I know my first few players, I didn't know about this. I had no idea. I didn't even notice. I thought everybody started level 1 every time, and I probably made and lost progress on 4 or 5 players just because of this. And the other thing with this too is this is super important. Like if you look at every spawn, every time you log in, there's gonna be like 15-20 people at each spawn who are just sitting there doing nothing. Like I'm pretty sure they're logged in because they don't want to lose their progress. But you can load your progress, so you know, copy, paste that, whatever, get it written down, and then you don't have to leave yourself logged in like this. This is gonna lag the server for everybody else, which kind of sucks because nobody likes lag. So this is just unnecessary. This could be, you don't need to do this, is what I'm saying. It's straight basic, you don't have to do this. And that's the most important thing about the entire video. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys out. I hope things are clear now. I hope you know how to play. I'm going to make future videos on, you know, advanced tactics with PvP, gold farming, things to look for, such like that. So keep an eye out for that. And if this is something you're into, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. And if you are playing right now, I do play Bloodlust, and I play an archer. I'm not super high level yet. But if you're looking to team with somebody, I'm totally down for voice communication. Would be a must, actually. But I'm down for teaming, group PvP and all that, and coordinated PvP would be absolutely ridiculous in this game. So if you're down for that, leave a comment, and we'll see about getting together. And yeah, that's it. So you guys be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught. And thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.